Hey guys, it's Kate from Cater. It's Monday, February 28th, and it is just a few days since Bella passed away, and I wanted to shoot a video just in response to some of the beautiful comments that I received on those videos, and just obviously from the title of this video, it's to explain why I have already decided to adopt another cat. But I also wanted to just talk a little bit about what that experience was just like for me in the context of stewarding animals, which is in my future because I'm going off to homestead, and this is what I've been asking for years, the opportunity to go and have this kind of lifestyle. So on Friday when I was laying with Bella, and I was going through all the feels. I had my kid who was very upset, my older kid, putting a little bit of pressure on me to take her to the vet and deal with it that way, and I had to stand my ground on that, which was difficult because obviously I had my own feelings of guilt, needless guilt really, but I'll get into that about what was happening. And so just wanting to really handle it my own way. I was really fortunate that my kids ended up being away for the weekend, so they actually left on Friday, leaving me alone to deal with the situation. But I had, again, all the feels. I was questioning, if I was doing the right thing. I was worried that the situation would escalate, and that I would have to then intervene in an emergency capacity, calling some vet in the middle of the night. I was also worried that it would take a long time, that, my kids might come home from the weekend and it'd still be going on. But I tried not to go into the what ifs. And as I sat there, I just tried to remind myself that my job in that moment wasn't to pursue any of the what ifs or make any executive decisions based on that, but really just to try to do my job, which was to support my cat through her passing. And I'm sitting here with Tegan, who is, really precious to me as well. I just thought it would be nice to have her in the background. So I haven't lost a pet like that in a long time. I consider pets like that are familiars, in a bit of a magical way, our comrades are, and I'm sure anyone who's had a pet feels the same way. I had to euthanize a dog about 15 years ago, and that was very difficult. I did it at home, but it was very predictable. And yes, she died in my arms, but again, in a very predictable way that was, controlled, and this situation wasn't like that. So I was ultimately really just doing everything I could to tap into my feminine energy and, mother, nurse, angel, whatever it was that I could summon to have the right energy for that, to keep myself calm and grounded so that she could pick up on that energy and actually feel like this was an okay thing and not to resist it and such. I was sitting there and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is what I'm asking the universe for. I'm asking for more of this. Am I really cut out for this? Can I really do this? Can I go through this with more and more animals? And then of course Bella passed, and I'm devastated, and grief just tears you right in two and makes my ears whoosh. I can't hear, and I'm overcome. And I'm lonely, and I miss her there, and all that stuff. So, but we did it, and she did it, and it gave me so much faith in my intuition and the fact that I do have the strength of character to move forward with this life, and the gift that I have as a person who can steward animals. And the reality is animals die before we do, and that's the nature of the relationship. And I love animals, and I just I want more of them in my life. I love everything about them. I love the relationship, and I'm a person who lives alone with my kids, and my animals are my company. They're my companions, and they just give me so much unconditional love that honestly I've had trouble finding in humans like that. So it gave me just a lot of faith. It really restored my faith and everything, just the divine timing, and that we really can embrace these things, and we don't have to go into that ego driven, whether it's, I feel guilty as if I'm responsible for her disease or her passing, and I want to intervene, and it's my responsibility to take her pain away. Because at the end of the day, I'm just a person. I don't have the ability to take her pain away. I can enlist my human resources to facilitate that, but I don't have the ability to take away her pain, and I don't think she's really sitting there looking at me expecting me to. She's probably just dealing and appreciating the company. I don't know. But anyway, so it gave me just a lot of faith. Then I had the grief, and I'm torn up, and I'm lonely, and I miss her, and it was only a couple of days, and I decided that I could just sit with this grief for as long as I'm supposed to, and be lonely and sad, and or I could take all this grief and just turn it right back into love, and just so that's what I'm doing. So I went on Kijiji, and I found a cat who actually looks identical to Bella, because that's really going to bring me joy to see, and her name is Maya, and she's not going to be Bella, but she'll be her own spirit, and she's 10 years old. I always try to adopt adult animals, because I feel that they are less in demand, and typically end up more in shelters. So I'm driving 2 hours to pick up this cat that pretty much looks identical to Bella, 10 years old, Maya, knowing full well that I'm going to have to go through this all over again in however many years, but knowing that it's completely worth it. And the little voice in my head that says, it's disrespectful, you should wait a certain amount of time. And I say, no, I shouldn't. Why should I? It's actually the greatest honor that I could give Bella, that despite how incredibly painful that was, I would do it all over again in a heartbeat, because she was just that wonderful and just that worth it. And so, again, I'm getting through the experience. Obviously, still, I have some feels about it, but I'm really excited for Friday to meet Maya and bring her into our home, and and just steward another animal with all the love that I have, and just keep giving my gift back to the world. So I don't know, just for those of you who watch the video, obviously you guys are all pet owners, and I know the loss is so hard. And again, at 50 years old, I haven't lost an animal for 15 years, and this is how I've gone through the experience this time. The last thing I'll say on this subject is, when I think about losing a person, and it's totally different. It is so much more difficult to bond and connect with people, in my experience, that when you find a person that you connect with and you lose them, I mean, that is devastation beyond what I'm experiencing. Because at the end of the day, I can be pretty sure that any animal I bring into my home, as long as I love it and take care of its needs and treat it well, it's going to love me. It's going to love me unconditionally, and it's just going to be this beautiful relationship. And people are just not like that. You can't just go out and find another person that you're going to connect with like that. Human relationships are so much more complicated. So it's really brought a new sense of empathy for me about my friends who have lost humans, certainly recently. I lost my father maybe 15 years ago. Actually, right when I put my dog down. My dad died the next month, actually. So, and that was my dad, and that was hard. But But again, you know, if for someone who's lost a partner, a life partner, a companion, that loneliness, that again is just not, it's just a different kind, a whole other level of grief. And I have a whole other respect for that. And it almost motivates me to just want to continue focusing on my animal relationships, because they give me so much more. And at the end of the day, I suspect ultimately they're just a lot easier to manage emotionally when it comes to loss. So anyway, I hope that's comprehensive. I just wanted to follow up with some thoughts. I know it was a really heavy topic, and there were reasons why I posted the content. It wasn't to be opportunistic about the subject, but I went looking for information, you know, and I couldn't really find anything. And the stuff I did find, there was a lot of judgment in the comments, you know, about the person being cruel or letting the animal suffer. And I just didn't feel that that was fair. And so maybe I guess I just wanted to capture a way that I handled this particular situation that might inspire someone else to have the confidence to at least try it. If things had gone sideways, I had no problem making that emergency call in the middle of the night, but I didn't have to. And we don't have to make these executive decisions based on what if she suffers, what if she has a seizure, what if she what if, and we're making all these huge decisions based on what if. And I managed to not do that and went through a really beautiful thing. So that's why I wanted to post the content and also the follow-up today. And also, I guess, just to plant that seed that if any of you have the calling to steward animals and you've suffered a loss and you're really finding it hard to recover and move on and perhaps return to that calling where you can bring someone else like that into your life, I think that it's a really healing thing to do. It's a tribute to those friends that we've lost, and just a beautiful thing to keep giving back to the world. So thank you very much for listening. I hope I didn't ramble too much. And I'll be getting on to my homesteading content as I am officially 2 months away from moving. I'll maybe shoot a video to introduce you to Maya when I bring her here. And we'll get back to the homesteading, gardening, sustainability stuff soon. So anyway, thanks a lot. And until next time, I am Kate from Gator. Happy, healthy. I'll see you later.